To many, school is daunting and disconnected from who they are. Doubting they can achieve their life goals, many teens give up, feeling they lack the necessary skills and confidence to believe success is within their grasp. Many are looking for guidance, identity, and independence. They are looking for purpose. There is a profound need for a connection to be established, empowering young men and women to take hold of the inherent value of who they are. One that says education and positive life choices are not impossible, but are in fact doorways to a great adventure. And it is our responsibility to come together to create a firm foundation for their success. All of us can be guiding lights to help young men and women springboard into the exciting lives that await them. The Success Foundation is partnering with schools and others to invest in teens, tomorrow's leaders.
I've pretty much been determined that I'm going to go to college, I'm going to do something with my life. I'm actually going to make a difference because I'll be the first generation college graduate.
Anybody can be successful. You just have to try, you have to want it, you have to change your attitude, you have to think positively, and that's how you're going to be successful in life.
The Success for Teens book is a terrific learning tool that tells the story of many who have walked in the reader's footsteps.
It actually gives you the steps that you use in your everyday life.
They're not hard principles to follow. They're just so easy to do and you don't really think about them, but when you actually read the book, you're like, I can actually do those things and it will help.
Utilizing the 8 to Great tools, this dynamic set of steps inspires students to strive for themselves.
All right. Forward. All right. I'm Nakai. I had fun yesterday. I'm 16. KJ is a crazy individual. Yesterday I learned that the Lord is going to always be on your side. He got your back through everything. You should trust in Him. Put everything, for Him. What was I going to say? Give everything to Him. He always got your back. No matter what, I can't even.
Because you know all about Jesus, Robin. Hold it down. You can make it personal. Don't tell them about the corporate Jesus. Tell them about your Jesus.
Okay. My name is Robin. I'm 16, and I love Jesus. And, we learned yesterday that, you add your own salt to the earth and the world, and that, you bring your own flavor, and that, you as an individual, you make a difference on the world, and you impact the world in your own way. You feel me? So it's like Jesus is always going to be there for you and have your back. So you should always trust in Him as you grow and get older, because you're going to make an impact on the world with Him by your side. And without Him by your side, you're going to do something. But with Him by your side, you're going to make a bigger difference.
This book is focused on nothing else but your success. Right? So this is all this is about. This is about you reading and preparing yourself to be successful. A lot of people talk about Erica be successful. They have to give you the success manual. Say, here's some steps that we're going to read through, and we're going to figure it out, and we're going to see if this stuff is applicable, and if it'll help us take what we want to do to the next level. Are you in? We're going to have a leadership camp, and Mr. Vinny's going to give. I'm going to look for you to do some astronomical things that week, right?
Remember that conversation we had in my office about the things that I worry about? Yes. Yeah. So there's a chapter in there on habits, habits becoming practice. I want you to read that chapter. All right? Yes. Remember I talked about that? All right.
Can we
wrap? Anything to add?
Well, I like to think of this area as really an opportunity to show the community that since we are a dropout prevention school, that we're kind of showing ourselves as a example for students to drop into education, especially in our area. I know a lot of students who have had a negative experience with an academic environment, and when we have something that's so lively, that students are so involved in, that people really look at us and say, something's going on there, and I want to be a part of it. So it's like if we put on for the community will give be a part of us as well. So that's my thought now.
Bishop, as a community leader, when you find out that something like this is going on, how does it make you feel inside to see what the youth are doing?
Very, very exciting. As we know in our communities, opportunities is the big thing. If a person is given an opportunity, usually they'll rise to it. But doors are closed. So every time people who are dedicated and committed opening doors, I get excited. And I start thinking about all of the kids that just need this. So my mind's racing, as others are, in terms of finding those kids and directing them to the open door. And as here, life-changing experiences. You start doing things you couldn't do before that all of a sudden you realize, I can do this, and I like it. And you find out that maybe there's something inside of me that really likes this stuff. And you start just working in that area, and other ideas, inventions, creative thrust and achievements start moving. And I think that's how the world turns. And so this is exciting that you all are doing this, and I'm going to be thinking about ways that I could join you all in making this happen for other young people who are right at that borderline, and that need that help.
I like our kids doing what they need to do to help themselves, but at the same time keep reminding them that they need to lift as they climb as well. So as they're working on themselves, also investing in our school and our community, and they take that with them after they leave.
And Captain Kill, I mean, you are law enforcement. You get to see when projects like this go bad. You really get to feel the effect of the lack of these type of effective resources, the lack of this type of community involvement, the lack of this type of leadership amongst our educational institutions and urban communities. So having had the time that you've put into the trenches of Wilmington, the trenches of where our kids are, how do you feel watching our young people, the young people of Wilmington, committed to this level of personal development proactively?
Well, I think it's a validation because it's coming from the children. It's coming from the young youth. When they validate it, it's easy. See, a lot of times we as adults, law enforcement, we try to validate their programs for them. It's just like say no to drugs. Well, the program was admirable. The idea was great. But the situation where they're at was validated because the kids couldn't just say no because there were other things, issues that they had to deal with before they could even get to the point of saying no. So enforcement itself, I think that has happened over the time when people get frustrated. See, because it takes time and commitment to take that extra step. Because the rest is easy. There's not a law on the street that someone hasn't breaking or have broken that I could take it from. Now, take the bishops. He could either counsel, reprimand, or give that spiritual insight. He can look at, and try to lift and grow, like she's planting a flower. That flower is not going to just last for us today. It's going to go on forever. Well, not ever in a sense, but more than one generation. And that's what you're going to do. For me, it's a great thing. Because now, in the area, because you get labeled, you get the stereotype, you get the look. Oh, that's that. Oh, it's that. We have to break those barriers. It's because of interaction. Now they see me. Because when they see me in uniform, they might see a certain mentality and vice versa. But once we get to know the individual. So for me, it's great. I mean, that's been my whole thing in interaction.
Captain's saying something very important because some things got to happen before we get to the ultimate. We like to jump to the ultimate, but before you can say no to drugs, you got to see opportunities. You got to be able to shut doors on some stuff that's facing you right in your life, and the way you shut doors, know that there's some open doors. And so by what you're doing, you're meeting folks at that bottom floor, and usually that's where the young people are. That's why they validate. They validate that stuff that's down there that they can immediately attest to and cling to. So that I think is a big thing. So as we just do that first floor, second floor kind of work, when the big stuff comes, we'll be ready for it. We'll be able to say no.
Everyone here is validating. You are advocating for them. It's not popular to advocate for kids, especially now. It's first thing everybody say, oh, them kids is crazy. They off the chain. They cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, whatever you want to say. Why you wasting your time. So if I'm a young person, and every time I walk out the house and I'm walking down the street, that's all I hear, so why should I care?
Live up to that expectation.
Why should I care?
Yeah.
I mean, even sometimes over a while, someone says to me, hey, you look nice today. Instead of you, blank, blank, blankety, blank, blank, all negative. After a while, so what does it matter? And see, that's where it has to come in. It doesn't cost anything to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the law of reciprocity. You give and you receive. And we have to start giving them an opportunity, like you said, opening up these doors and letting them feel comfortable with being themselves. That they can do more than just that and not be labeled.
Yeah.
You know, but again, they have to have some. I enjoy when I see adults and young people advocate for themselves, but truly, when they feel as though they validate themselves and you support them.
And
you're not always going to blame.
What is so phenomenal, not only about you two pillars of the community standing together at the alternative school on a Monday morning without more than 48 hours notice, right? That when we look at the youth, like, I want you to realize something. It's very difficult, I don't know if you've seen it, but very difficult to see them two together during their time off. And when you wonder what concern, what issue was important enough for them, because, you know, one of them represents the Christian community, the other one represents the Islamic community. You typically wouldn't see them together. But both of their interests are represented in this community because you're in this community. And what one thing could be important enough for them to come together? You. The belief in you. For you to believe in yourself. They believe that you can get done whatever it is that you want to get done if you believe that you can get it done. And they came together just to demonstrate their belief in you. And you have to shout out your phenomenal principal. I mean, you got to realize that even though she's doing the things that she's doing in Wilmington, she's already got a track record for doing astronomical things at one of the greatest high schools in the world, because I just think it was named after a really great guy and it's in a really great community. But she's been at King High School. This isn't the first time that she's established relationships with the community. And those relationships that she established, she's got one of the largest influential community leaders coaching the wrestling team in that city, in that high school. And that was a relationship you established how many years ago?
11.
So people care, and we care about you, and we're focused on you. And we want you to know that this summer, all we care about is your success. So focus on your success. Remember, you don't have to draw it. You can connect the dots. It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat, and understand that your principal and your community is behind you, right? We love you, and we look forward to you seeing great things. We know that you're not the achievers and the leaders of tomorrow. We know that you are the achievers and leaders of today. And what the people here are committed to doing is not waiting for tomorrow. We want to connect with you today and assist you in your journey from the young adult today to the achievers and leaders tomorrow. Because guess what? We're all getting old. And we know that you're going to run the deal. And when you start running the deal, we want you to remember that we cared about you in high school and that we're here for you. We love you.
We don't know what a kid goes home to daily.
There is so much that they're exposed to now that we weren't 15, 20 years ago.
You see bullying taking place all over the place and you can't get away from it.
There's so much pressure on kids nowadays.
It's really hard being a high schooler.
It's really hard just to not let other people, like, what they say affect you.
Like, I have friends that cry all the time because somebody said something on Facebook or something like that.
There's like all kinds of different cliques. You can't really expect to fit in with everybody else.
sure we were faced with a lot of different adversity, a lot of different things that our kids had to go through.
And I remember thinking, you got one shot to get it right.
You know, we as a community needed to address some of the things that were going on with our kiddos.
Success Foundation stepped in and helped and said, you know, we can help you.
You know, all kids are reachable. You just got to find that in, you know.
I read the book Success for Teens over the summer, and I was really uplifted by that.
Success for Teens gives us things we can use to help our kids deal with certain things that's going on in their life these days.
The Success for Teen books is really about a group of people, not only boys and girls, talking about their mistakes in life and how we should learn from their mistakes and be successful as a teen.
It's kind of like a survival guide, basically. I thought it'd be pretty boring, I guess, at first, but it's a pretty good book.
Well, I've believed it was going to be one of those really cliche things. It's not like that. It's just saying you shouldn't let people put you down for being all you can be, doing what you like to do.
I think it would help some kids a lot if they really tried and listened a little bit.
Hopefully people will take it seriously, because I really think it could help a lot of people.
You know, whenever we talked about it to the teachers, it wasn't until we gave each of them a copy and said, read the book. That's when they understood, wow, this is a good book. It's easy, it's simple, it's straightforward.
Any tools that we have that can empower our students, I think we have to go for it.
The kids themselves are showing us that even though we had the sayings in the hall and we were doing all those things already, and it just wasn't enough.
The hope is that kids hear, listen, and understand the message that anything is possible. There is no failure that is too big to overcome, because we can stand on a stage or we can stand in front of a classroom all day long and articulate those messages to our kids. But if they see it in a book and it's something they can take with them, it's something tangible to hang on to, they can look at at night or in the evenings or with their parents, that was huge.
I don't always think math and English and science and social studies are the first things that we have to take care of. We got to take care of that kid first. If they're okay, then they can learn that stuff. But taking care of the kids, number one.
I just want students to realize their true potential. I want them to be motivated by some of the stories that they're seeing in those books and other teens sharing their experiences. And I want them to just go beyond what they think is their potential.
A lot of the stuff makes a lot of sense.
The title explains success for teens, and I need that help because sometimes I don't always feel like I can talk to an adult, even though I should. And I definitely think the parents should start reading it too, because then they won't be afraid to ask questions to their teens.
It's a really easy read. It's not overwhelming, and the lessons are easy to understand, and we're having fun with it.
I really like the book. I think it's really cool. It's telling you how you're gonna have problems in life, but there's no reason for you to let your dreams go or anything.
They've embraced it as a celebration of life, a celebration of a new attitude, a celebration of coming together, and that we're all a family. And we have run with that theme because the kids are the ones that decided which direction to take this.
I think the incidence since we've started Success for Teens has been down as far as the negative things, and we've seen a lot more positive things out of our kids.
I've had kids come to me and talk to me about certain instances where they have used some of the knowledge that they've gained from the books, and I just see a change in them.
It's given me a few pointers, I ain't gonna deny that. I mean, it helps me know that I need to maintain a healthy lifestyle, I guess, on my schoolwork and also home life. I want to maintain like a stable, balanced relationship with my parents.
Patrick is one of the primary examples of the success of this program. When I talked to him at the beginning of the year, he had a tremendous amount of problems. He was unmotivated. He really didn't care too much about anything that was going on as far as educational-wise or even socially. Now you can see it on his face. He's really taking this project to heart, and it's tremendous to see the change that this project has had in his life so quickly.
Success for Teens book has given me tips on how to be successful. Taking little steps towards what I want will make a huge difference. I've been working on my grades a lot and been trying to get them back up to where they need to be.
You know, that's a reason that I'm so happy that we are part of this project, simply because if we can change one or two kids' lives like that, it's so worth it.
it's just little lessons in really self-esteem, if nothing else, that I just want them to remember.
There was one chapter that talked about someday never comes. It means that if you say someday I'm gonna be rich and I'm gonna have everything in the world and you just sit around and do nothing, then you're not gonna get anywhere. But if you take a step and do something, then you will get there.
I used to cuss a lot at my house, and I stopped doing that because I knew it was bad.
The little lessons in the book, like attitude is everything, has helped me with dealing with everything that's going on in my life, and I feel like a weight has been taken off my shoulders.
There's this line that I remember about it where it says that there's no such thing as failure. In order for you to have success, you've got to fail, and I think it's true. I never thought about it that way before.
I've seen a real transformation in some of our students. Daisy's the perfect example. Daisy started off in the year. She had a really tough exterior, was mean-spirited towards certain people, talked back to her teachers. So she was kind of a frequent flyer in my office.
I had really bad behavior issues. Like, I would literally be in Miss Franklin's office every day.
I saw her softening throughout the year, and she thinks about what she's going to say before she talks to people. She's self-reflective, she's polite, she doesn't talk back to people. And so I really saw a real transformation in Daisy.
Well, it made me think of things differently, like big time. To the people that think that this book is cheesy and all that, it's not that. I think they should really read the book. It would really change their lives. If it changed mine, I'm pretty sure it would change theirs too.
You can change, that one student's life. You can change multiple kids' lives by giving them information that they may not have received. This may be the thing they go home and think about in that dark room when they're by themselves, and it could change, which way they want to take their life.
It's an organized structure that the kids see at the first of every week, and it reminds them of these lessons in life. It reminds them how to handle situations. It reminds them how to treat other people. It reminds them themselves how to react.
It gives us a device or a vehicle to start to instill some of that character and some of those thoughts that we want to get into our kids. And in this particular program, actually, it puts it at our fingertips. It makes it quick. We can get it to them. We can go on about all the things that the state requires us to do, and still do some character education and work with kids and get them pointed in the right direction.
It's obviously been an incredible experience for our students, but not only our students, but our staff. It's even moved beyond into the community with parents. I have parents coming back saying, hey, do you have an extra copy? Or this has been fantastic to talk about at home. Or thank you for showing me how to start this conversation.
I think the Success for Teens book is something everyone should read.
You really have to read it too. You can't just skim it. It's a good book, and once you start reading it, it's a little hard to stop.
It was a learning experience. It made you look in someone else's point of view.
I think it was definitely worthwhile. We're seeing fewer write-ups, referrals. Kids are making better grades, less bullying, less fighting on our campus. So it definitely had the impact that we were hoping for. And this is only the first year.
This program is great. I think we should have something like this in every school, because these things are what real education is about. I didn't get to go through a program like this when I was in high school. And luckily I made some right decisions, but it could have easily went the other way.
Everybody, they kind of put the brakes on when you start talking about taking up class time. And once they've started working on it a little bit and see what it is and how the kids are responding to it, they see that the time spent is well worth it.
This has just been emotional and profound. It's a part of our value system now in Lake Dallas ISD. Success for Teens is something that I will personally support and endorse for the rest of my life. If there's an organization at all wondering, how do I help a community? Or how do I help kids? This is it.
Satan has no authority. We have all authority in this realm. God gave us the authority to us. So, when we give our authority away to Satan, by the words in which we speak out of our mouth, because they are spirit and they are truth and they are life, and they bring forth life. So if you speak that, it will bring forth life. To that, it will bring forth destruction. Now you give Satan the power and authority to move around, and you got the televisions
telling the vision to our children and it's giving them words and pictures and images. See, the television, you understand that if they capture your mind, your image, you'll start to live it out. You'll start to live it out. And our children will start to live it out. And then we got a polluted community because it's embedded in us. We teach our children to watch TV, so when we go from little kids to watching TV to grown people watching TV, you can't get mad that that's what they do. We have to break that habit. We got to break that source. We get into the word. We get into the books. We imagine greater things. We don't exactly. We don't allow somebody to tell us what we can and what we can't. You know what I'm saying? What we can and what we can't do. We were formed in the image of our God. He created the heavens and the earth. What? My God. He said create. He spoke and he created through the word that he said. He saw that it was good. He's teaching us how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you. Look, this is what the men did. I gave them a vision. Run with it. Write it down. Run with it. The image I gave you in your mind, run with it. Once you tap into the source, the greatest source on earth, which is God.
Tap into prayer and supplication.
That's it.
Ask and you shall receive.
Seek and ye shall find. Knock. Did you call it the answer? Nah, Texas. I'm good, man.
I love you, man. I love you, man. I love you, man. Alright! Team Jesus, man, we love you, Doc. What? Yeah, I am. Hey, Daddy, it's us. We just came by early in the morning to say thank you, man. Waking us all up this morning, man. Giving us the only ability to start over again. Giving us all the ability to be able to praise you. Giving us the ability to breathe again. And we just wanted to stop for a minute to ask you to look out for our little ones. Ask you to look out for our teachers. Ask you to look out for our instructors. Ask you to look out for our administrators. Ask you to look out for the teachers. You might stop by. Ask you to talk about the parents. You might walk down the street. Maybe your grandma might come down. Maybe somebody who don't have anything. Let them know that we stood here for them. Let them know that we asked you for them. Let them know that we asked you to be there for them. That's all. That you might strengthen us. That you might make us better than we are yesterday, today. That's all. We don't ask for a lot. We don't ask no miracles. We only want memory. Memory of what you already did. Because we know if we can remember what you did, then we can look forward to what you want to do. We ask you to do all these things. In the precious name of our Father, in the precious name of our Son, Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.